Without that officer present, crime is going to increase. It's just a commonality there.
A former employee with the Arkansas State Parks is sounding the alarm tonight. He claims the number of law enforcement officers with the agency is dwindling, creating a potentially dangerous situation for visitors. And these concerns came to a head after a double homicide at Devil's Den State Park this summer.
Tonight, our Jessica Rockwell breaks down the staff numbers and what a retired ranger is saying about how that could impact safety in our state parks.
There's something new around every corner, over every bridge, and down every mountain. But even in a place full of the unexpected, no one could have predicted this.
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
This summer, Devil's Den State Park turned into a crime scene.
Try to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. Just a couple minutes. I think I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
Clinton and Kristen Brink were stabbed to death while hiking with their 2 daughters. The man police arrested had no known connection to the family, immediately sparking questions about safety in our state parks.
We just stayed in the car with the doors locked.
You never know. Any day, the craziest thing could happen out of nowhere.
You know, I can't sit here and say had we had more officers there, it would have prevented it. But I can tell you that we'll never know. It could have, deterred that.
Tracy King retired just months before this happened, marking an end to a 40-year-long career with state parks. Throughout his time, he says he's trained hundreds of commissioned officers, which act as the police of the trail. They're some of the only ones that can make arrests or lead investigations.
It has steadily gone down to now it's at 40 or below. There's still, emergency services, CPR, first aid, search and rescue. They're still there to do that type of stuff, but they can't do anything to keep law and order and to keep the public safe.
FOX16 obtained these staff numbers from state parks. As of August 2025, there were 140 in-park uniform personnel. 41 of those are commissioned law enforcement officers, or LEOs. Compare that to just 5 years prior, there were 77 LEOs. In an FOI request from an attorney with the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, Clay Stone says the decrease is related to a restructuring of positions and a decline in what's called a dual role position, which means law enforcement is not their primary role. Stone says, quote, though some park employees are no longer dual role commissioned law enforcement, they maintain training in CPR, first aid, search and rescue, and other skills that allow them to continue to function as first responders. Stone says the department also works with local law enforcement to keep hikers safe. But King says it all comes down to timing, and the clock starts ticking the second you have to call someone in.
We just recently had an incident at a state park where it took an hour to get a deputy out there.
With 52 parks and more than 55,000 acres, there's always something new to explore in state parks. King says change needs to happen in order to focus more on what makes Arkansas,
I just hope that this wrong can be righted.
the natural state.
And that was our Jessica Rockwell reporting. An Arkansas Legislative Council subcommittee recently passed an order to add an additional 7 law enforcement officer positions to state parks. King says he still believes the changes are being done in a way that he says, quote, defund the police.